Okay. Sqwadcast, episode 32? I think it's 32. I think. Yeah. Anchovio is back. Been on. This is your third straight one, right? You've been on.
Yes, because it was me, you, and Ryan. And then me and you did the
Sqwadcast.
Sqwadcast. Yeah. So here we go.
Yeah, 3 in a row. All right.
On a regular, I like it.
Yeah. We're talking about stupid rules from school or work or parents or whatever. That'll be our main topic today. Forgot to get questions, so that might be
okay.
I'm gonna move the thing so I can see the time. That'll help too. All right, we're back. All right, so we'll start with the airing of the grievances.
You can go first.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one
Go ahead.
Well, I think I've already kind of touched on it before, so I'm gonna repeat myself because it just happened again and people aren't learning.
Okay.
Live Snapchatting concerts, and also Snapchat in general.
Yeah. Feeling kind of targeted here, Tim.
Okay, well, not you, because it was specifically to other people at the Childish Gambino concert the other night. Literally two of my Snapchat friends, like, it was like the entire concert. And I was like, why?
Okay.
But also Snapchat in general, because I already hit on the concert thing before. Just like at a certain point, I'm just like, okay.
So you're officially out on Snapchat?
I'm not out on it. I still Snapchat, but I
like,
still find it. But just like all the extra stuff.
Yeah, like
that's
I don't
on it.
like.
I
don't
like
look at any of the subscriptions.
Yeah,
and
it's like I get like if celebrities, you can subscribe to celebrities.
Yes.
That's fine, but I don't want an entire page of stuff I'm not subscribed to.
Yeah, so
showing up.
So you want like, the option to look at like Vice and Cosmo and all the other stuff.
All that should be gone.
Yeah, you know people need their Cosmo.
If you want Cosmo, I'm not hating against Cosmo or looking at Cosmo. I'm just saying I don't subscribe to it, so it shouldn't show up on my feed. You know,
I concur.
I feel like social media in general is kind of doing that. Like Twitter is like that too. Like somebody likes a tweet and then it shows up, and I don't follow that person.
Yeah,
like Chrissy Teigen shows up so much in my feed, and I don't follow her. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like,
and I also don't like that. Like, I'll see a tweet from someone, I'm like, hey, who is this? And I'm following them, but I didn't follow them.
Yeah, that happens a few times too. I'm like, I definitely didn't follow you.
Yeah, so I'm just like, click, unfollow.
Yeah.
Unless they're fun, then I'm like, okay, well, then I'll just keep following you. But no.
Yeah, unless it's... Yeah. But, that's happened to me a few times. I'm just like, this isn't right. No. Yeah, so that, I guess it's just more of a, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of deal. Like, like Snapchat, like, 3 years ago was amazing.
Oh, my God. It was, but it was also, like, trying to snitch. Like, when I had, like, your top best friends, and they would, like, show you who you were snapping, like, you're, like, top 3, like, you could see everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wait, no, that was 20...
Oh, yeah. No, that was... that was 2013.
It was like 13, 14, 15?
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, that probably ruined so many people's lives. Like, why are you snapping this bitch? Like, that's my sister. Yeah, sure it is.
I remember just in college, like, our entire floor would just, like, Snapchat each other across campus. Like, we saw each other and stuff. Or, like, from class, we would Snapchat someone in, like, the quad or something. Like, that was just fun. That made it fun. You know, we would draw targets and we'd have, like, rankings and stuff, like, points. And now just all the filters and all the everything, it's just too much. It almost...
Yeah. At first, I was into the filters and, like, I'll use them occasionally, but...
It's,
Hashtag no filter. Not for this face. See, mine, it's like work related. So working in a hospital setting, you have the possibility of being mandated, which means like they force you to work another shift.
Ooh.
Now, in most hospitals, this only happens in case of like inclement weather.
Oh, weather.
But at mine, it happens all the goddamn time. It's crazy because they're like, you should come into work expecting to be mandated. Like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, I'm coming in for my 7 to 3:30 shift. I should expect to stay another shift.
Yeah.
And, like, if you have kids or something, like, oh, you should have thought of that beforehand. Bitch, no. And if you, like, say, oh, no, I don't want to stay. Guess what? You handle your badge and keys, you lose your job. Like, you literally have to stay at work. It is the most infuriating thing ever. And it's the worst when it's in the overnight shift.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't sign, like, I'm already tired. I didn't sign up to work until 7 a.m. No.
Yeah. That's how. They actually at not my old job. I still got used to that. They had a residential program at the school, so it was kind of like the same thing. I heard a lot of residential people complaining. It wasn't where I worked, but it was like they would work. Sometimes they would be signed up for doubles and stuff, and and it was just like, you can't expect us to work that long. Like, it's 16 hours. Like
16 is a lot.
Yeah,
especially when like you're not prepared for it. Like I'll pick up doubles and like I have the mindset. Like, I'm expecting to get off at a certain time, but you're saying, oh, just kidding, you have to stay.
Yeah.
What? No. And it's even worse because, like, if you need to call out of work, they want you to do it 3 hours before the shift, so it gives them time to find somebody.
Yeah.
But I've been mandated, like, into night shift. I was supposed to get off at 11:30. They called at, like, 11:45. I was like, hey, you have to stay overnight. So they can mandate us anytime they want.
Yeah.
But we have to give you 3 hours notice if we can't come in, or we get written up. Oh, funny how that works out. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's my grievance.
I had a similar experience. It was during my summer job, lifeguarding, that our supervisor was like, hey, I'll be there by 5, and we're supposed to get off at 5, and I was like, well, can we get here at like 4:50? Like, I don't want to stay longer than I have to. Yeah. And he didn't show up. We gave it till 5:05, and we both left. And then he came the next day. He's like, I was here by 5:10. I'm like, and we are over at 5. Yes. Like, we're not gonna wait an extra 10 minutes, and then you stay longer while you talk to us. Like, just show up at 5. Like,
ooh, also another grievance. It hasn't been recent to me, but since you mentioned lifeguarding. I would hate when the pool was closing and we're like, okay, like about 50 minutes early. But why? Because I stop getting paid at 8 o'clock and it takes you motherfuckers 20 minutes to leave. So like, we don't clear the pool at 8 o'clock because I don't get past paid that time. If you want to pay me out of pocket, sure, I'll stay till 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever. Yeah. But like, we clear the pool early to get everything clean up. We gotta clean the whole pool, get up all the trash, and get all of you funky kids out of here.
Yeah. That was
so annoying.
I hated staying late. Yeah, we started implementing that like halfway through this summer. We were like, their staff would be like, oh, well, our time is until like 4:30 or 5. I'll be like, yeah, but I'm leaving at 4:30 or 5 or whatever. So,
like the gate needs, like the pool gates need to be like closed by this same time.
Yeah. Oh, man, work. All right, well, that was our grievances. Yeah, pretty on schedule timing wise. So I did a lighting thing. I didn't want to interrupt your grievance, but I realized it might have been a little dark. So
yeah, I'm pretty swarthy myself, so I understand if the camera couldn't catch me.
Yeah. So mid shoot grievance light test on.
Mid shoot grievance light test on. Yeah. Put that on a motherfucking t-shirt.
That'll be our first
t-shirt. He's so much money.
Oh. Alright, so we're gonna get now into our main topic, which is
I'm so excited.
Stupid rules of things and places. So it could be work, it could be at home, it could be school, it could be stupid anywhere. Okay. So do you sound excited?
I'll start.
Do you want to start this one?
And I think every kid heard this at some point. My parents made me think it was like illegal to drive with the overhead light on.
Yeah.
Like, for the longest time, I'm like, wait, it's illegal. Like, yeah. Like, they just don't want you to do that. Like, why? Yeah. Like, you're not I guess, like, you're wasting car battery, but it should be fine.
It's not going to affect you.
Like, that's probably the dumbest rule ever. No driving with the light on. So, like, when I started driving, like, almost 10 years ago, yeah, so like 8 years ago when I first started driving, I'm like, oh no, I see a cop, we turn this light off. And then I'm like, wait, there's no rule about this. Like, they just didn't want the light on for whatever reason. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Did your parents say the same thing?
Yeah, they did when I was, my dad not so much, because my dad's pretty chill. Okay. Yeah. But I think it was more of, in the parents' defense, it might have been like distracting, like if a kid's in the front seat or back seat and all of a sudden the light goes on.
I mean,
but it isn't that bad that you should make it like a fake role.
Yes.
Just say, hey, it distracts me. Like, stop doing it. So yeah, that's definitely one. One of mine is in my high school. This was the stupidest rule ever. We had school IDs. That's fine. And for our lunch periods, we had a colored dot, like a little sticker that was on our IDs, so you knew what period they're in. So there'd be like 4 or 5 teachers on lunch duty, and they check when you go in, you know, because there's like a lot of kids going into lunch at the same time.
Yes,
so once all the teachers are there, they opened up the doors, and there's a teacher on either end, and they would check the IDs. The only thing that, like, in theory, that makes sense, like making sure the schools, but in reality, so many kids go in at the same time
like,
that you're not
like stopping hundreds of people. Hey,
yeah.
Stop here.
And also, like, I tested a few times with different people. One time, my friend was in front of me. I forgot my ID. Like, I just forgot my wallet to school that day. I was a freshman, so, like,
freshman.
Yeah, I, like, didn't really need my wallet for anything. So, I forgot so he literally showed the teacher his ID, and then, like, on his way down, like, handed it, and I picked it up, and I showed it, and they're like, oh, yeah, you have the green dot, you can get in. Like, they're not even checking. Yeah. Another time, I used my ID, but I showed it backwards. It's just plain white on the back, and I literally showed it up, and the teacher was like, yeah, you're good. I was like, I just showed you a plain white surface. Like, how did you let me in? Like, so it's kind of like, and also, like, why check that? Like, if they skip another period to come to a lunch they're not a part of, then that teacher's gonna know they're not in the class, so they're gonna know anyway. Like, it was such a stupid rule, and we never started lunch on time. Lunch always started like 5 or 10 minutes late, because they would get the whole lunch out, like the last period lunch would come out, and then the teachers would come in and clean up and make sure all the teachers that were supposed to be there were there.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like 1 or 2 teachers would be at the door, 1 or 2 would be in the line, making sure nothing crazy was going on.
Your school was nice, because I remember walking, I'm like, oh, this place is filthy. Because, like, kids don't clean up after themselves, and I'm just like, oh, wow. One of my other ones goes back to high school, too. The whole, like, no hood, no hat rule. Like, that didn't make sense to me.
Hoods, I can kind of see.
Yeah, and, like, I understand to an extent. So, like, our vice principal, she, like, one day, they were, like, I guess, trying to get our feedback on stuff, and I was like, hey, I have a question. Why can't we wear hoods and hats? She was like, excellent question, for safety. Because we have cameras around here, and we don't want people walking in. I'm like, cool, I understand that. My question specifically is, you know, after we're already in class and accounted for, like, hey, Mrs. Boyle, you know me, like, why can't I pop it back on then? Like, after you're already in class, it's no longer a safety issue. So, like, why not? And then she was like, for safety. I'm like, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Like, after you are in class, taking attendance, I'm not roaming the hallways. My teacher knows my face. Why can't I do it? And I'm walking in the hallways, take it down. It's fine.
Hats, too, because I'm a big hat guy.
And I'm like, just little fucking hats. And even on, like, the special days, so, like, during Spirit Week, where, like,
they still don't let you on Spirit
Week? Where you, like, dress all crazy.
Yeah.
Every teacher, so I had, like, a goofy hat from Disney World, and it was, like, for class day, I was just whacked out.
Oh, yeah.
And every teacher didn't say anything except for one.
I should turn that down.
I'm like, why? She's like, it's policy. I'm like, it's the last period of the day. Every other teacher let me do this. Like, why are you being such a dick about it? It's a hat. And you know no random person want to come here with a goofy hat. And like, it's me, man. Almost put it out there.
Yeah, it's just they allowed it for Spirit Week in mine for special days.
Like, most of the teachers were cool about it, but some were just super dickish, hated their lives.
I was mad because we do senior trip instead of like senior week. Well, it's convenient.
I use my toes at the top.
I don't think the camera can see that. Hopefully not. Yeah, so we do a senior trip, and it's like right around March. Just the entire senior class will go to Disney World for a week.
That's so much better than just you in Ocean City. Goddamn! Wow.
Yeah. So that was trying not to say where we are, but I think we may have mentioned it in previous casts.
So just like your whole like graduating class would just go to Disney World.
Well, it was an option. Like, you had to pay for it. It wasn't it wasn't like, hey, for a week or
no,
but like for
it was like through the school.
Yeah.
I went to the wrong school. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean most kids did what we called prom weekend. And just went to the beach after prom and stayed for the weekend. I didn't because at the job I was working at, it was all high schoolers. So, and most of them were seniors, with some juniors that were going anyway. So I was like, I could either go and just hang out with people I'm not that close with, or I can work all weekend and just make bank while everybody else is spending their money all weekend.
Smart man.
And like I was really, one of my best friends in high school was 2 years below me, so like he was still home over the weekend, you know, like, so I was like, I'm hanging out with him, I'm working, like I wasn't that close with a lot of people in my class, so I was like, it's not worth it to me. But that was what we did. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know why we got, hats, yeah. We were allowed to, all the seniors came back like that Monday, and we were allowed to wear all our souvenirs and stuff. So I had like a Jurassic Park like dinosaur hat that like looked like the mouth was like coming out. Nice. Yeah, hopefully the video stays remote with this. We had trouble during our trial run of a new project, which will debut at some point. But hopefully we have things better now. So high school was weird.
Yeah, it was.
I'm trying to think of any other.
I definitely have one more written down too. But you go while I.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. We had designated parking in high school. That wasn't so much a stupid rule, but like the way it was, the parking lot was like, even if you got to school early, you could still park like at the end of the parking lot. But the parking lot wasn't that big. But like, it should be just first come first serve. You know, like if you show up to school early enough, you should get the better spots.
I agree 100%. Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure that's how ours was. Like you had to buy a parking pass.
Yeah.
But like you just park anywhere in.
Anywhere. Yeah, we had assigned spots, so I could show up. My high school started at. We had to be there at 7:15. It was between, I think, yeah. So like I could show up at like 7:14 and still have my spot that was like next to that end spot.
Okay, from that aspect, it's kind of nice. Like no matter what time you show up, like you'll get your spot. Yeah. But if your spot sucks, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. There was actually one day I forgot, I was in band in high school and I forgot my folder in my car because I brought it home to practice. I didn't practice.
What?
So my folder was in my car and I had band third period. So I told the director, who I was close with through other bands and stuff, and he knew me. He was like, yeah, just run and get it, just come back, like no big deal. So I went to get it and my car wasn't in my spot. And I was like, like this isn't good. I was like, I obviously got here in my car. Like, where did my car go? So I called my dad. I was like, yeah, I'm in the parking lot. I don't see my car. He's like, oh yeah, I just walked over and got it. I had to run to your grandma's house. I was like,
that would have been nice to know.
Yeah, just like shoot me a text or something.
Hey, click it
yeah. So I came back to the director. I was like, hey, like my dad took my car, and he was like, so your dad walked. We were walking distance, but like he was like, so your dad walked up, took your car without telling you, and your folder is in the car. I was like, yep. And he just gave me the sheet music for the one song we were practicing. He's like, this is the song we're doing. Like,
what instrument were you playing?
I was playing tuba at the time.
Oh no, okay. I knew that you played tuba. Okay. Tuba Tim.
Yep. Tuba Tim. One of many nicknames that I've acquired over the years.
Overall, like that's like 1,000. Like, yeah. One person.
I wasn't even counting.
There were more?
Well, there was like, I don't think Tuba Tim was in that post-it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was. And then I had a PE teacher called me Timbo before Timbo Slice was a thing.
Oh,
it was
okay.
just Timbo. And then one of my friends growing up, his dad called me Timster.
It's a Timster.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim is very versatile.
So, it is kind of, as soon as Ryan started making nicknames at our previous place of employment, we were going all out. Like, we were like, how many can we do here? So, did you have one?
Oh, yeah. So, at my job now, you can't wear, like, sweatpants or hoodies.
At all?
No. Okay, no, but I am now. So, on, like, the kids section where I work, like, all the other people can wear it, except for like my one unit, and it's infuriating. And like in theory, like you don't wear a hood because like a patient could like come up and start choke you and like hold you. But you know, my kids are between 4 and 12. Oh, and I'm 6'2". Yeah, nobody's gonna choke me. And also, if they start, I'm gonna like whip around like, hey, stop choking me. Yeah. And like the sweatpants, like I'm running around with these little kids all day. I mean, wear like sweatpants. And, like scrubs are pretty comfortable too, but just something about sweats. But like on the weekends when like managers aren't there, I just wear my sweats and my hoodie, and I feel good about myself, and it feels good. So I think that's a really dumb one.
That was the thing about my restaurant job and my last lifeguarding job. They only gave us one shirt to start out with. Yeah, so like in the restaurant, I'm like, I'm gonna get this dirty for my shift. Like I got like a handle of ranch and blue cheese a lot because we served a lot of wings. So it was a lot of that. It was a lot of coleslaw. If I had to make coleslaw, we made the coleslaw by hand. And I was like, my shirt's gonna get dirty, and I'm working like 4 or 5 days a week. Like I can't. Like why not just give me a second shirt? So they gave us, it was the 20th anniversary, so they gave us one for that, had a special logo. And then we could wear either a football jersey or Orioles stuff during the games. So, like, since there's an Orioles game.
Almost every day, like that's
I just bought a jersey. I bought a now worthless Machado jersey.
Oh, no. I'm Adam Jones, so as of right now,
he waived his no-trade clause. Apparently the Phillies made him a deal.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. So and he waived it. So apparently he wants to stay.
Good, I want him to stay, but I also want him to win too.
Well, yeah, he's one of those players that needs it.
Okay, we just playing the sports.
Yeah, wow, we got to blend in the sports squad a little bit.
What a segue.
But sure, yeah, and lifeguarding too. Like I didn't think it would be that bad, but like this year I was outside, so I had my shirt off most of the time anyway. Yeah. But like last year I was inside, and I was like, I'm sitting here like sweating, like. And
my first year lifeguard, I got 2 shirts. I'm like, oh, I'll just alternate. It's fine. I was wrong. I was sweaty, and you could see like the brown stains. I'm like, I'm like, hey, boss, I need another shirt or something. And then I went to what's that popular website with all like the lifeguard stuff?
I don't know. The popular lifeguard website.
Kiefer.
Oh.
Kiefer. Yeah, so I got a couple more shirts from there. You don't know Kiefer? No. I mean, it has like everything, like vacuums, hoses, like legit everything you'd ever need for a pool. Wow. Including like swimsuits and puddle jumpers. I'm dying.
Okay. First video broadcast of Sqwadcast.
And it's a death.
Yep. Well, I'm a lifeguard, so I can save your life.
I honestly feel I just can't do myself.
How dare
you couldn't. You have to like run into something.
That is an actual way to do it, though.
Right? No, yeah.
Like you use a countertop if you don't. Nobody's around. Yeah. Fun fact.
If you ever die out there and nobody's around, smash your chest into a. Oh no, it's not called that anymore. It's not called the Heimlich. It's called.
That's called the Heimlich.
When did that happen? So like when I was learning it, like for the second time, my refresher course, they were like, like it's not technically called the Heimlich anymore. It's called something else. I'm like, I'm gonna call it the Heimlich.
Yeah.
Everybody calls it the Heimlich. He invented it. It's the Heimlich.
Yeah. That reminds me of the other tuba player for 2 years. I was by myself for 1 year. And then, was I by myself? No, I was sophomore year. I was by myself because the tuba player graduated, and for some reason he was like, "Hey, you never played tuba before in your life. Want to take his spot?" I was like, "Yeah,
that's how that works out."
And then junior year, I was with a girl who was like 5 feet nothing, and playing tuba. So the tuba on her shoulders was like up to my shoulders. Like I was like, okay. And then she left my senior year, so I was back to by myself.
Okay.
But that year, she got mad at me for not understanding the. Yes, I'm off track here. Hold on.
You can do it.
We played the Hey song, which was like. Da, 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 hey,
oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what literally everyone calls it. But she was like super hipster about it. She's like, well, actually, it's called Hey Rock and Roll. That's the actual title of the song.
Oh, she was one of those pricks?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you're one of like 50 people in the band. Like 49 other people are calling it the Hey song. Like, just call it the Hey song. She's like, no, it's called Hey Rock and Roll. I'm like, shut up. Like, I can step on you. Like,
don't make me do it. I will, you little shrimp.
Yeah. And then she got mad at me because I yelled at her at rehearsal once. Do you know stuff about band?
Yeah, I played in 4th grade.
Well, marching band? Not.
No, my cousin Ivan, he was in marching band. Okay. So I know a little bit, but.
So there's this thing called the dress point, which is like when you make a formation, it's the person you look to center yourself.
Okay.
So if we were dressing and we were making a 2-person line, if I were to dress right, I would look at you. If you were to dress left, you would look at me.
Why do they call it dressing instead of like looking? Like, hey, look this way.
I don't know.
Okay, I was curious.
So like we were in a mini triangle with it was the brass section, and the kid was basically to the right. Like there was a point, and then it got bigger. So the triangle, like if that was the stands, the triangle would go this way. And we dressed to the point that was here. Mm-hmm. Sorry for audio listeners, or this only ends up on audio. But the kid was on the base on the right side, and she was on the left side, and I was like diagonally behind her, making like that diagonal line. Mm-hmm. Right? And we dressed to him, so if he was like 2 yards ahead of where he was supposed to be, we had to follow him, because in other words, it would look wrong. And she didn't. So the entire form followed her, but she was like, no, I'm supposed to be here. This is what my drill says. And I was like, no, but he ended up forward, so you got to follow him. Yeah. Like he could end up 5 yards to the right or not enough, and whatever he does, you have to follow. And she's like, no, that's what I thought. I was like, you're not understanding. And I literally like snapped at her. I was like, look, you are wrong. Like follow him. And everybody else will follow because you're the one that looks wrong in this case. Even if it's the right place you're supposed to be at, you need to follow him. And then she didn't talk to me for 2 days.
Stupid does.
Yeah, because she was my friend's girlfriend, and she would follow. We had class in the same hallway, so she would like just wait for me, and I'd walk like 3 classrooms down because I was in the same hallway, and she would just keep walking to wherever class was. So we would talk, and for 2 days she just left without me. I was like, all right, but I'm in the right. So like,
I mean, yeah, like if you're right, you're right.
Yeah, I was like, go ahead and not talk to me. I'm only friends with you because of him anyway.
Like we're like 3rd-party friends. We're not real friends.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so back to the grievances. What you just said made me think of it. The English language.
Oh, the English language.
Because you use the term dress to like turn. You have that. You have like a literal dress, and then you have like dressing. You put on something, and then like you're getting dressed. But then you also have like a dressing, like a bandage. Like that one word has like 1,000 definitions. Like no wonder it's so fucking hard to learn. That part's going to head. Okay. I have another
stupid rules.
Stupid rule.
The English language.
Another dumb rule. It's kind of a hot take. Oh boy. So drinking and driving.
Oh,
so
okay. So elaborate here.
Okay, so like not like being wasted, obviously, but you know how you can like sip a Gatorade and drive. Why not sip a beer? And I feel like that would like lower the like drug driving rates, because instead of like trying to like scarf them down before you head out for the night, or like before you go home, you could be like, you know what, it's fine. Mm-hmm. I'll just stay mellow and then like finish it on my way home instead of trying to chug everything.
If you're not already drunk, I can see that working.
And that's what I'm saying.
It would be up to like the bouncer's discretion or something.
Yeah, and you know,
who's let out
like just picture this. You know, you wake up on a Saturday morning. It's a hot July day. You're like, wow, I want to go to the beach, but you can't start drinking yet. You're rolling down the highway, windows down. If you have the kind of car, top down, wind blowing through your hair. You're bumping your summer jams. For me, this summer, it was the 2-song summer pack like Gambino, fantastic. And you just crack with a cold one. And you're just driving and you're just cruising. and you have one, you weigh down, and you're good. Like, come on, man. Like, sometimes I'm like, fuck, I just need a beer right now, but I don't want to have to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why they're in place, but...
Yeah. It's one of those things I learned, I don't know if it still is happening or going on, but when I was, my first year of college, my English professor mentioned the Duke president or chancellor or whatever higher up person wanted to lower the drinking age to 18 because kids are doing it anyway. It's one of those unwritten things. Like 18 to 19, like all these college kids are drinking. Might as well lower it to 18 so they can legally get it. And he thought if you could get it, if it's more accessible, it'll go down. Yeah. That you don't have so many underage kids doing it. And it's the act of doing it when you're not supposed to.
And like that's the appeal for like so many things. Like as a kid, you're like, don't touch that. Like, well, now I want to do it even more. So like it's like, hey, don't do this. It's like, well, now I just want to do it even more. Yeah. So it's one of those things. But
I mean, the only argument against that would be then like 16-year-olds are getting it. Then and that. At that age,
but like 16-year-olds are getting it anyway. Well, we should lower it to 16 though. I mean,
then 12-year-olds are getting it.
Pretty soon you're gonna have a little 5-year-old Billy. Mommy, give me a fucking beer, bitch. Oh man,
that reminds me of the John Mulaney bit. He talks about drinking. He started drinking when he was like 14 or something, and he was like, "Imagine if I was like 5 and I was drinking." And Dad comes home. He's like, "What are you up to?" He's like, "Crying." He's like, "I drink Triceratops."
Speaking of John Mulaney, Big Mouth season 2.
When does that come out?
October.
Oh,
have you seen the second trailer?
I haven't seen the full trailer yet. I saw the teaser.
Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good.
Did you see that tweet about how anime versus US animation? It's a tweet of like an anime girl and then Nick Kroll's character from Big Mouth. And it's like Japan anime. It's like
sexy shit.
Let's make our characters look cute and sexy and so unrealistic. And then it's like American. That's just like the ugliest teenager we've ever seen.
But like Totally Spies, like they were hot.
Totally Spies.
Like, they were, and I'm pretty sure that started. It either started here or Canada. I forget which one, or maybe it started and then went over to Canada. At some point, it was like airing in Canada, like the episodes. But like, they were hot.
They were. Yep.
You start talking about hot cartoon characters. Cartoon, I'm from Boston now. Cartoon, fucking cockies. Oh, another Grievance. I hate the Boston accent. So you know what? Nope. Save it for another day. Yep. I'll save it.
I went to Boston for New Year's and we did a bus thing where you could get on and off the tour bus. You paid like a flat rate, and it was like I thought it was just like a 2-hour tour of the city, and I was like, do we really have to do this? But then the person was like, no, you get on and off wherever you want, and it runs from like 9 to 4.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, I was like, oh well, in that case, like let's do it. Yeah, and we did it. I think like 6 or 7 times. We got on and off, and it wasn't until our last bus driver that actually had an accent. And I was like, I just wanted one. I just wanted one guy with an accent or girl, tour bus person, to have an accent, and it didn't happen until the very last one. I think the camera turned off.
I was about to say, I see it cool. I'm visiting my friend Kelsey in Boston next weekend, and I'm just irked at the fact that I'm going to hear Boston accents. But it's fine.
We'll see how that turned. That probably turned out terrible. It looks like this might be another audio one. We'll finagle the.
Oh, you say finagle too? I love that word.
Yeah, finagle.
Finagle my bagel.
Oh.
Wow, that sounds super sexual.
That does sound really sexual.
Wow, I don't think bagel's ever used like a sexual term, huh? Like, would bagel be something sexual?
Can be.
Yo, you want to cream this bagel? Oh, there it is. There it is. You're welcome.
Oh, cream. Such an odd verb to use as a euphemism.
Like I creamed my jeans earlier because I was off of work.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm just like, oh. Yeah. other rules that may have...
No elbows on the table while you're eating. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a rule, but somehow it's rude. I don't guess. Like if you're eating like a burger or something, and you did like steady or something.
Yeah. Can't.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of rules my parents had, but it's going back a little ways. It's just, I'm trying to think. Rules in school. We have the hall passes. We had to sign our agendas in middle school and high school.
Yo, I remember that. They had to sign my agenda. I'm like,
I was like,
this is like the literal hall passes.
Yeah, and then I'd like walk past. I knew like most of the teachers were like on hall duty and they didn't even care. Like I would walk by them and they'd just be like, oh hey, I'd be like, hey,
like
hey,
you don't want to check this?
Yeah,
no, so I was gonna sign up for nothing. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. I had my English teacher junior year was off the wall. It was great, but he was just like very unorthodox. And I was helping my friend, and my friend broke his arm. So my school policy was like, you can get a friend to help you out if you can't carry your books. Like, you get to leave class 5 minutes early, and you can go. Or it might have been 10 minutes early. I don't know. But like, I had the little pass, this little gold pass with the teacher's signature, and so I would show it to him, and he'd look at me and not react, and just keep talking, and like. I would keep holding it, right? And then he'd like nod or say I could go or something like that. And this happened for like a few days, and then he finally like snapped. He's like, "Why don't you go when I just look at you?" And I'm like, "Cause I don't know what you want me to do." I'm like a 15-year-old sophomore or junior. Like, I was like, "You can't just look at me and expect me to go." Like, and he's like, I see your pass if you go. Like, I don't want to interrupt class. I was like, okay, like, just tell me. Like,
what year did you graduate?
2010.
Okay, super random, did you guys get our AP, so did you know our old AP Psych teacher? I'll say his name off air, but like,
I know your high school teacher?
No, so like that's
what I'm confused about.
So one of our AP Psych teachers,
yeah,
he left and went to your school.
My high school?
Yeah, but like I don't remember when it was though, so I was trying to figure out. I'll say his name afterwards.
I mean, we had a lot of teachers go in and out, but
okay, yeah,
I was never on AP level.
Not even AP Psych. Like
AP
Psych was a joke.
So I was supposed to take AP History and AP Psych. I was signed up for it, but my guidance counselor going into senior year was like, "Hey, you have too much going on. Like, what classes do you want to keep?" Because we were required to have English, math,
EPI, economics and public issues.
No,
you didn't take it. What?
No.
Like we did like basic like econ stuff, and then we like bounced the checkbook once.
No, that wasn't required. Oh, that was an elective.
Oh no, yeah, like they made us take that, and then English 12, and I think those are the only 2 requirements your senior year, at least for my school.
Well, we also had. I found out this was. I'll say the state because it's pretty vague, but between like Jersey, we were required to have phys ed all 4 years, phys ed and health, all 4 years.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You went to high school down here or up in Jersey?
No, up in New Jersey.
Okay. I don't know why. Okay, then ignore everything.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, what?
I thought you went somewhere like the high school around here.
Oh, no.
I don't know why I thought that. I'm thinking of somebody else. Now, no wonder you look like crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean, do I know one of your teachers?
Okay. I totally forgot. Okay. Wow, what a dumb bitch I am.
No.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, now that's over with. Well, okay. Do you have any more?
I'm tapped out there.
Okay, so I guess we'll get into questions that I'll pretend to look up on this computer. What good questions? What was, I don't know if we did the prank question, right?
Yes,
we did
that 2 episodes ago.
What else? What was your first job, and how did you like it?
Lifeguard.
That was your first job?
Yeah, first job getting paid, and I love that. That's why I did it for 5 years. So it was easy money.
Oh, yeah.
Except I was annoyed when, I would have to talk to these grown people hey, I know I'm 15, but you can't do this. It's weird being in a position of authority
Yeah.
When you're so young, and they're like, "You're a little snot nose." You're like, "Don't tell me what to do." I mean, I can just kick out the pool. I don't want to, because you could like cave my face in. But these are my rules. But sorry, not these are my rules. I'm just following these rules.
Did you work for a company or did you work for like a specific?
Oh no, I work for a company.
Okay.
Yeah. They had me at this shitty pool out in Rochester.
Because I did too. I worked for a company when I was here, but back in New Jersey, it was the apartment complex manager was in charge of hiring the lifeguards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it was like literally 4 of us.
Yeah, like, and they would start like requesting me because I guess I was good. I mean, I don't think I was.
That's how I always see it.
Like,
if they put me on the same thing every time.
Yeah, like I let my friends in all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're one of those people.
I mean, not when it's crowded, but like, if it's like dead, I'm like, hey, nobody's here, come by.
That's fine.
What was your force for that first, and did you enjoy it?
I worked skating rink, roller skating rink. Yeah, so I started senior year of high school. I applied my sophomore year of high school because it was a very high school-y job. Didn't get it. Applied again junior year. Didn't get it. And my parents were like, "Hey, like senior year, you have a car now. You have like more responsibilities. Like you need money." So I applied, and I used my lab partner from junior year, who was working there for like 3 years already. I put him down as a reference when I didn't the other 2 times, and then got the call. And they were like, "Oh, hey." I was like, "Oh, that's what I needed to do. Just put down someone I knew as a reference." I was putting down like family, friends, and stuff because like I'm in high school. I don't have any like references.
Yeah, like I have no experience in the real world.
Yeah. So I mean, it was fun for a little while. I did. There was a lot of different jobs that did it. So I did the skate room, which the initial rush at the beginning was like crazy, but then I just sat in the skate room for like 5 hours, you know.
Nice.
What else did I do? Did floor guard. Okay, I was like lower on the tier on that of the people who were floor guards, so like only if like 5 other people weren't available that day. Yeah,
you were out there patrolling.
Yeah, just skating circles for 5 hours. That was the worst.
Oh, that
was so bad.
Wait, that actually sounds terrible.
It was so bad.
Like being forced to skate for nonstop for 5 hours. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, what I would do is I would go 10 minutes, and then I would rest for 10 minutes, and then I would skate for 10 minutes, and that kind of helped.
Okay.
And it wasn't long enough that management was like, "Hey, you need to keep skating." Like I took a big enough break to, but yeah, it was bad. We had a little what was called the fun zone. It was this like indoor jungle gym. For a kid, it was awesome. Like this thing was legit. But I had to watch that.
Yeah.
What else did I do? There was a lot of different jobs. DJ a couple times.
Oh,
it was
DJ
like just
too?
like the iTunes list. Again, we were like 16. Well, security on Friday nights. Security. If you can see me, if the audio, the visuals working, I'm not exactly what you picture when you hear security. But again, it was for Friday nights where all the teens, all the youths were coming out.
Youths?
Yeah. So when I'm a foot taller than them and have 100 pounds, and I'm not that big of a guy to begin with. They're like, "Yeah, you're just work security Friday night." So I put wristbands on all the kids that came in, and then I'd just like walk around the skating rink until the end of the night. Like,
nice.
So it wasn't bad. The boss was cool. The managers were cool. Like it was very like I said, like it was high school job.
Did you get free food at all?
We weren't supposed to get free food.
Okay, nice.
But at the end of shifts, they'd be like the snack girls, which was kind of sexist. Only girls worked the snack bar. Yeah.
Snacks working the snacks. Very sexist, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why didn't I work the snack bar? And they got tips too, which was really unfair. Like they got tips, but it wasn't split among anybody else, unless it was a private party.
Okay.
So a private party, the entire rink would be shut down, and it'd be 4 people. It'd be manager, snack bar, skate person, and the floor guard.
Okay.
And they get the split the tips, but like snack bar had their own little tip charge. So during like a regular shift, they'd be like making tips. I'm like, what? I'm handing out skates to everybody. I want to get tips. Yeah.
I have on patrol sitting alive. Where's my tip? Huh?
Yeah.
There's a tip for you.
Yeah. But no, at the end of shifts, they'd be like, "Hey, we have like 5 extra pizzas. Do you want a slice?"
There you go.
Like, yes.
7.
Yeah. And then I made pizza. We had frozen pizzas, and then we made pizzas. We transferred to homemade pizzas, and
nice.
I was there for like 3 years at that point, and I was still working like the same amount of hours. So I went up to management. I was like, "Hey, like, can I work more hours? Because I've been here longer than just about anyone. Like, and I'm still handing out skates. Like, like people are here, and a month later they're like DJing or working extra hours and stuff. I'm like, I've been here 3 years, been a pretty good worker. Like, so they're like, oh well, we're starting to make pizza. So how about you get on that team?" So it was me and 2 other people that would rotate through and just make pizzas.
Would you like toss the dough up?
Yeah, it was frozen dough. So we'd get the dough. It was homemade sauce. We had and then cheese. That was about it.
That's not.
But me and another kid started to do the flippy.
Oh, that looks.
That was weird. But then sometimes it would like you get a fingernail or you get the too thin and you get a spin and be a hole in it. You're like, let's fix that.
Yeah.
I attempted a calzone once. Did not turn out well.
No, it didn't.
So I made half the pizza, and then we folded the other half on top, and we put it through our oven, which was like a roundabout type of oven. Like you put it on one side, and it came out the other side, and when it was done, and it came out, and one of the managers was like, I don't know who did this, but something's coming out the other end, and it doesn't look right, and the dough was over, and there was bubbles, and it did not turn out the way it was supposed to. I was like, oh, that experiment failed.
You don't want to get the bubbles.
Yeah. So that was my first job. Worked there. And then my last 2 years, I did summer camp. So it was more of a camp than the skating rink.
Okay.
Which was the one summer I was lifeguarding. They were like, we're going to put you on every trip because you're lifeguarding, you're first state certified. And I was like, that's funny. And then every trip, I was assigned every day. I was like, 9 to 3, field trip. I was like, wow. You were serious.
That's a lot of field trips, though.
Well, it was like, you would go to the same place, just a different grade would go every day.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it would be like kindergarten, first grade would go on Monday, second, third graders go, because they were split up by grade. And usually there weren't any on Friday. Friday you normally just stayed at the rink, but that's why I was going every day. So, yeah, that was fun.
Cool job.
What's another question we can ask? I meant to get some questions, but then I got caught up with all the new equipment.
No worries, bud. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, here's one. What was the best and or worst party you attended?
That I attended?
Yes. In person. You can't talk from a third person.
No. Yeah. So does exclude hosting?
No, you could host.
Okay, well then the one party I had that you came to, it was equally the best and the worst.
Oh, you're using it for both.
Oh no, it's the best and worst. So for the people out there, 2 years ago, for Halloween, it was 2016 Halloween.
Holy crap!
Because I just
last year I hosted one.
Yeah, because I just started dating Max at the time. Yeah. So
time flies.
Oh, it does. So I was having this house party. I made this juice. It was so good. It was like a bunch of it was like pineapple juice, Hawaiian punch, and one other one. But then for the alcohol, it was like Bacardi and I think like Burnett's. But you couldn't taste anything.
Oh, Burnett's.
Yeah.
You really couldn't. It did taste like punch. Like I had the first cup. I was like, there's a good chance I'm dying in it.
Yeah, so you couldn't taste anything, so you just got people fucked up.
Yeah.
There were at several points there were a couple orgies. From my point of view, I didn't know that was going on. Yes, Tim was an innocent bystander. Tim was not involved. He was not involved in any orgy. My cousin and his now wife, they were wasted. They fell down my basement steps and broke the banister.
Oh.
And then proceeded to vomit as they were falling, and they vomited everywhere downstairs. And the punch was red, so there are still little pink stains.
Oh,
in the
of course
floor.
there is.
And I'm pretty sure at some point somebody broke my sink downstairs, and I didn't even think about it until months after. my mom was like, hey, like, you don't have with the sex kind of loose. I'm like, no. And I'm like, fuck. like someone's probably like fucking in the bathroom or something and made the stick loose. Yeah, jiggle it. No. So it was the best because everybody was shit show, but it's the worst because there was a lot of broken shit. And there were 2 separate orgies. So.
Yes, it was me and Kelvin. I can say him by name since he's been on.
Yes.
His girlfriend at the time, not his current one, and somebody else, some random person. We were all playing Pong, and then we like looked back and we're like, where did everybody go? Because it was in the back of like the living room, family room area. The way the house was laid out, we were just like, so everybody left. Like, yeah, that was. I think one of the best was I threw a prom house party.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was because I was in community college at the time, and the cute girl in one of my classes, we were taught before class because we had some time.
Yeah. And
one day she mentioned, she was like, oh, like I never went to prom. I was like, I was homeschooled, and then like she was homeschooled for a little bit, and then like went to high school her senior year or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But I forget the exact, but it was something to do with homeschooling, and she just never had the chance to go to a prom. And I was like, well, let's make a prom. So I was planning on a party anyway, and then I like ran it by, you know how you have like a core group of people that come to like any party you host.
Yes.
I ran it by them. I was like, hey, like what do you guys think of like doing a prom? Like just dress up, like not like full tux, full dress, like but like shirt and tie for the guys, like a nice dress for the girls, like cocktail dress or something. I was like, what do you guys think? And they'd be like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I would love to dress up.
Yeah, so we cleared out my family room for the most part and made that a dance floor. One of my friends was doing photography in the living room.
Wow,
he set up
official.
He did it as a hobby, and he's like, hey, do you want me to just do it? I was like, yeah, like awesome. We had a bar. One of my friends was bartending in the dining room.
Where was my invite?
I didn't know you at the time.
That's not an excuse. Anyway.
Sorry you didn't go to community college in New Jersey.
Don't be sorry. It's fucking Jersey. But proceed with your story.
So the way that my house is set up, what is you walk in, and it's stairs, and then the hallway to the kitchen. Okay. And to the right of the stairs is the living room. Then the room that connects the deer. Oh, yeah, deer boat. The dining room where we have like all the nice dinners, all the family holiday dinners, and then my parents added a family room next to the kitchen, so it was an addition. It was this huge room. So yeah, the family room was the dance floor. The living room was the photography. Dining room was the bar. We had some food, not like buffet or anything, but it was like Philly pretzel factory. Okay. Like stuff like that, just snacks in the kitchen and stuff. And it was really fun. And the best thing we did was we have a back deck. And we were all walking around because the door is at the kitchen and to get a drink and then to go back outside. We were walking around, but then we realized we have a window in the dining room. So my friend would make a drink, open the window, and serve it through the window. I was like, did we just make a drive-through bar?
Oh, yes, you did. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. And they're like, this is
that's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah. So it was really fun. One of the girls got sick near the end, though. But likely it was near the end of the night, so most of the night was still pretty fun. Yeah. But then it was like her and every other girl. I think only 2 stayed downstairs. They just went upstairs. And I was like, so now it's like 15 dudes and 2 girls.
Sausage
and one of the girls is dating one of the guys. Like, I was like, I was just like, so guys. Like,
we jerk each other off, or
yeah,
circle jerk.
How's this gonna work?
Cookie.
Yeah. So that was good. And I think the worst was probably one. I think we talked about one where I MacGyvered. Me and Blake MacGyvered cups out of campus maps because a girl almost died at our party. So you don't know that.
What in the fuck just came out of your mouth?
Okay, so we were having this party.
Oh my god.
For like, one of our friends, he graduated, so he was living at home. He came back for this party and brought his girlfriend person. They, like, we're not together, but we fuck all the time. Arrangement. Yeah. So they were there, and we had a few people. He came early with her, and then we had a few people in, like, just kind of like pre-gaming at the party type of deal. And then the party got going. We had everybody else kind of came, and then we noticed that his girlfriend was gone. And we're like, where did she go? And then he was like, oh, I'll like look for her and something. So he goes around the party. Party was pretty good up until this point, because then he called Blake and was like, hey, we're on the building on campus. We live right next to campus. And he was like, we're on the 3rd floor terrace, and she's like face down on the bench. Can you guys come and help us? I was like, I guess. So we left Blake's girlfriend at the time in charge. We were like, we'll just go and get him, make sure it's okay, and then come right back. Like, we'll keep this party going. So we went. She was face down on the bench, and then we were like, she needs water, but we don't have cups because the building's closed because it's like 11 at night. Naturally. And we were like, well, there's a water fountain, and there's campus maps because it's where campus tours would leave. So we're like, let's see what we can do. So we got a few maps and rolled it and made cups out of it and gave her the water, and she eventually got up, but it took so long for her to recover that by the time we got back, all the girls we left in charge were like, yeah, you guys weren't coming back, so everybody just went somewhere else. And we were like, oh, okay. So what do we do now? Because it's like only midnight. We were expecting to go until like the wee hours of the morning.
So what did you do?
So a few of us just went to the bars that were near campus, you know. So, but yeah, I think that was probably one of the worst. Just because
that sounds pretty awful. Honestly.
Yeah, just because it was going so well, and then just we also had a Halloween party that got busted within half an hour.
Oh,
so
lovely.
Nobody got in trouble, but it was like literally as soon as everybody came in costume and everything, they just came in. The cops knocked, and they're like, "Hey, everybody out!" They're like,
"Were they real cops or like costume cops?"
No, they were.
I mean, it's Halloween. You never know.
Yeah,
that sucks though.
Yeah, that was the one. So
damn coppers.
Policia. Trying to get one more question. Think of a good question. What's a good question to ask a podcast? Who was your favorite teacher or least favorite teacher of any?
That's a lot, Tim. Any level?
Any
Dude,
level.
That's kindergarten through my bachelor's.
Fine. Of one level.
Oh, one level. I'd say Miss Boyd. She was my English teacher junior year of high school, and I will still email with her occasionally, and like I'll go see her, help her out with stuff in the classroom. She's just like a genuinely like just cool person. Yeah. Oh fuck! I said her name.
Oh well, I can edit it if
she's off. I mean, no, she's not gonna hear this. I didn't say her first name. It's fine. But yeah, she's awesome.
For me, I think it was. I mean, I was close to the band director I mentioned earlier, like just because I saw him so much.
Yeah.
But with doing band all throughout high school, and some of my band teachers were pretty cool. But one teacher was my college professor in PE. She was my advisor, and then essentially became department head because all the professors in the department like left in like a 3-year span, and she was the only one that stayed, so she took all the work. I could literally like email her or show up, like not even during office hours. If she was in her office and I like showed up, she was like, "Oh, sit down, have a chat." So I was like student teaching. My student teaching supervisor like got on me during my high school because I did elementary and high school, and I had to do different supervisors for each one. So during high school, they got like, "You need to do this and this and this and this," and I was like, okay, like I didn't do any of that last time, and I got through it. Like, why are you yelling at me now? So talked to her about career stuff, talked to her, and some people like didn't like her, but I was like, no, she's like pretty cool. You just gotta do what she asks. Like, there was one girl in our major who hated her, like butted heads all the time, but she was also the type who like wasn't doing anything.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I'm double majoring in phys ed and psychology, and I'm trying to get my minor in too, and she's just adding all this work to my already busy schedule." I'm like, she's not making her lessons are based around your schedule. Like, it's all of us. And it's not that hard. It just, she expects a lot because, like, literally, like, she's the one class I still remember. You know, and I think that's a good thing.
No, for sure, yeah. Like, you want to remember those people.
Yeah. Like, we had to make a unit plan for one of her classes, and she was like, it should be minimum 30 pages. And she was like, it should include all this stuff. And I was like, why does it need to be this long? I was like, well, it's a unit. You're planning out, like, 4 weeks of lessons. Like,
yeah. And
you need to plan all this stuff. And, like, I still follow that plan today, like, for classes. I'm like...
Wow, lasting impact, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is, at the time, yeah, I could see you're a college kid, but I'm like, it's still permanent, like, not permanent, but prominent.
Yes.
That's what prominent is.
I mean, it's able something with the end in it.
And there's also an M in the middle.
Yeah, same word, really.
Alright, and I think that's it. Questions were a little iffy this week.
We'll do better next time, guys.
Yes, we'll have questions planned. If you want to send any questions, tweet at Sqwadcast. SQWADCAST. Apparently there's another Sqwadcast that spells it with a U.
We'll deal with them shortly.
The uncool way.
We'll take them out.
I don't know if they have a Twitter. Yeah, tweet at that or Facebook. Same thing, Sqwadcast on Facebook. Yeah, both of them have pictures of Idris Elba, so that's how you know it's the right one. We've been slacking on our Idris mentions. You weren't there for the beginning. Basically, Ryan was watching Luke Cage. No, not The Wire. Watching Luke Cage. Thought Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage.
No, he did not.
Idris Elba.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, because our first episode was about TV, like just TV in general. Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, I was watching Luke Cage, and I really liked Idris Elba, and I like stared at him because I thought he was being like joking around."
No, he was that serious.
Yeah, and he talked for a little bit, and then he's like, "Why are you staring at me?" I was like, "What do you mean, Idris Elba?" I was like, "That's not Idris Elba." And then the next 2 episodes, every time he brought up somebody famous, we'd be like, "Oh, don't you mean Idris Elba?" And it just kind of stuck. We just mentioned Idris Elba, so
that's funny.
We've been kind of slacking as of late, but yeah. So yeah, I think that's the end of the episode.
All right,
maybe, probably,
not sure.
Share. I think that's the biggest thing. Is to share.
Share.
Yeah. You can like, you can retweet, whatever, but retweet it.
But I mean,
retweeting and sharing.
If you like but don't retweet or share, I'm gonna come find you. Just know that.
Liking doesn't really do anything.
No.
It's the sharing.
Yes.
Spread the word amongst
everybody you know.
Let's grow Sqwad.
Into the biggest squad ever.
Yes, the biggest squad. So tell us what you think. Any other rules? We'd love to hear them about work we did, or other things, work, school, family, or anything else. If you want to air out a grievance, be on the lookout for our for the video. Hopefully the video works in this one. If not, it'll definitely probably be up by next one. Also, our wrestling spin-off. So be on the lookout for that, which hopefully will start within the next week or 2 now that we have everything we need.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Knock on wood. We tried it last week, but the camera didn't work right, and we also didn't really have that well of a setup. So be on the lookout for that. So any wrestling fans or non-wrestling fans just want to watch us goof around about wrestling, be on the lookout for that. Sports Squad should also be back on track eventually. We kind of took the summer off unintentionally, but we'll be back with that. I think that's everything. It's been me and Anchovio.
Yo! I need to think of a good sign off.
We have good sign offs anyway. This 5 minutes of, yup, okay. It's a metaphor for how I am in real life, just like at a party or something. I'm like, well, all right, I'll see you guys. I'll just awkwardly leave the conversation now. So, yeah. All right, Sqwadcast, share. Squad.